Hold on now.
Yep, we got it.
All right.
Sweet.
All right.
See you, brother.
See you, bro. Can y'all hear me now? Testing, testing. If you can hear me now, say one. I said say one. That's crazy. Type one. If you can hear me now. Can you hear me now? Playing music. Hey, bro, relax. What's good? What's good, Jacob? Hey, everyone. How y'all doing? What's up, Hitman? Cool, cool, cool. We are so back, baby. Anyways, as I was saying, I apologize for the technical difficulties. My name is Mike. I am a trader here at ChartFanatics. I've been trading for almost 10 years now. I've traded on the institutional side, the retail side, and currently still trading on the institutional side or fund side. I love trading. I'll probably trade until I'm 99 years old. To me, this is a passion I've had for a long time. I've always wanted to be in the markets since high school. So it's a blessing to be doing that full time and be able to be on here today. Shout out to Riz, shout out to Anthony, Marco, Tyler, Matthew. We have so many new guys, you know what I'm saying? We have just AB. There's a couple more, you know what I'm saying? On the top of my head, I apologize. But we have so many talented traders, right? And you know, I'm very, very grateful to be part of the team and give you my perspective on how I look at the markets, my methodology, the way, you know, again, I always say this, but I love trading the markets, and I love that there's so many different ways to make money in the markets. You can have so many different styles and still come to the same conclusion and still make money or lose money. I mean, it depends on the day, right, or time. I'm doing fine. I'm motivated, locked in. Again, I was saying while I was muted is I was supposed to be on last week, but I was out the country on a business meeting or a business trip, and I learned a lot, and I was enlightened and came back motivated than ever to finish the year strong and really go crazy in 2026. So I'm just, you know, very grateful right now. I'm truly grateful for everything in my life and want to continue to stay in that headspace. What pairs do you like? I don't necessarily have a pair that I like. I trade all markets. I trade FX, I trade equities, I trade commodities, I trade crypto. Whatever's in play, I'm trading. I don't really have a favorite, I'd say. I guess the markets I trade the most right now is, I would say maybe FX and a little bit of like indices like NQ and ES have been moving, so I've been trading that more. Also been trading gold, but whatever's in play, I'm trading. I don't really have a specific pair I like. If I do trade FX, I'm usually focused on USD pairs because I think sessions and time of day truly matters when it comes to trading. RP NAS, yeah, it's crazy, man. We got a lot of bad data come out today, and shout out to the government finally reopening, right? Like we've been going through it was like the longest history of government shutdown, which is actually crazy because you're messing with people's money, right? You know, everyday citizens. But I'm glad that for now, I guess until January, we can reopen, and hopefully if we do shut down again, it's not as long as it was this time around, because not having news really affected my style of trading, because I'm a technical trader that likes fundamentals, right? I'm always aware of what's going on fundamentally, like around the world, and then I create my thesis, when it comes to trading on that. But I have to make sure that my thesis matches price on the chart, right? Price is king. I can't put a trade on if the charts don't make sense, right? I can have a thesis, I can have my own opinions. Everyone has their own opinions, but charts don't lie. They're gonna let you know should you get in or get out. Let me see. Bro, you look like Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards, the same guy that just got knocked out. I don't want to look like him. Come on now. But he was a beast in his prime, for real. Meds bread. Yeah, I appreciate you. For real, appreciate you for coming. But anyways, yeah, so I just want to go through what I've been looking at this week and a couple of trades that I've taken so far. I haven't really taken too many trades because I'm really big on, again, last week I didn't trade all of last week. I was out the country. So whenever you're taking a break from the markets, you have to resync, right? You can't just come in guns blazing. That's how you blow up real fast. I'm very big on, taking small singles and doubles until you get your rhythm, until you're in sync with the markets again. And then from there, you can go back to your regular size. And it's funny, I say that, but still have had a 5-figure week, which is great for me. And as a firm, I have my own business as well. My team and I are having a 6-figure week. If you're in my Discord, then you'll see we call the trades beforehand. We call EU shorts, GU shorts. My lead partner, Alvin, called gold longs. I also like the same idea. One thing with us, and that's another thing too, we'll talk about that more, but I'm very, very big on collaboration, just because that's my background working at KTG and S&B Capital and, other firms I've worked at and what I'm doing currently. Collaboration is really big. And when you have a lot of good traders thinking the same thing, the odds of the trade working are extremely high. Because yes, trading is a lonely game, but you have to use your resources. So I always recommend people to have a group of good traders that they can lean on to and collaborate and talk and share ideas, because that's going to help, one, with your learning curve. It's going to help with your confidence. And it's cool to just review trades that work and trades that don't work. Y'all can learn as a group and improve, right? But y'all all have to be on the same wavelength in terms of goals, aspirations, what you're really trying to get out of trading. If one team member is not locked in, it won't help the group. You know what I'm saying? You're only as good as your weakest link. So you have to make sure everyone is locked in, or else the group, it just won't work. And I've seen it firsthand, right? I've worked with amazing teams, and I've seen the P&L go crazy because of that. Because, you might see one thing that another person might not see, and when you're talking and collaborating with each other, you get the aha, that makes sense. I'm glad you caught that. I didn't see that. This looks good. Let's put the trade on. And sometimes you'll both see a trade that looks really good, and you put on some, really good size, and it feels really good to win big trades. But the goal is consistency, though, right? You want to hit singles and doubles, and then eventually, if you get a home run, then that's great. But you're not looking for that home run. You're looking for the singles and doubles. The home run usually comes after that, right? Let me just see if there's any questions. Yes, it's like trading blind without data. I agree. I couldn't agree. A lot of people believe that you don't need news or need to be aware of news and fundamentals. I would disagree, but I know there are people that are very successful not understanding what's going on with the news. But just imagine you're trading and you don't even know the government shutdown is going on, and you're wondering why you're getting chopped up, you know what I'm saying, or why price is doing this. You want to be aware. You don't have to be a fundamental genius and know, absolutely everything, but you want to be aware of what's going on around the world because it affects the markets. So why would you not want to have a better edge? You know what I'm saying? Why would you want to leave that out? There's a difference between knowing what's going on and knowing too much and trying to base your whole trade off something that may not happen for the next 3 to 6 months. For example, everyone's talking about the AI bubble, right? We all see it. We all see the valuations are very crazy. That doesn't mean that it's going to dump today. Just trade what you see on the charts, right? Understand it, be aware of it. And when you do see it, when you see sellers and these AI companies selling off, that's when you make the trades. You don't try to jump the trade and be like, oh, it's too high. The valuation's too high. It can't go any higher. You're going to get killed. I've seen it. And that's why fundamental traders don't usually last too long if you're trading just primarily fundamentals. You need the charts. You know what I'm saying? Again, sir, you're 100% right. I appreciate it. Please share your Discord link. Definitely, it's in my bio. And my if you go to ChartFanatics and just click my name, it's in my bio. I don't see Michael ones for or my tab too. I always forward my trades from my Discord to the ChartFanatics tab. But anyway, so that's one thing, because I have a lot of people asking me messages. I have students that ask me messages about trading and the style of trading, and I keep saying this, like, yes, right now the whole big thing is like ICT, which I do use a couple of its concepts. I don't use everything, right? I use a couple. I use the fair value gaps. I believe those make sense, and the order blocks, I look at them as supply and demand zones because I learned that before I learned order blocks. To me, they're the same. You can disagree, that's fine, just my opinion. That's how I look at the markets. I definitely focus on time of day, Asia highs and lows. I look at stuff like that, but at the end of the day, I'm a market structure type of guy. I'm looking at market structure. I'm looking at what's going on in a higher time frame. If you know me, if you've already been to a couple of these, of the past couple ChartFanatics live streams where I've been on, you know that I like higher time frame trading. I'm looking at the weekly, I'm looking at the daily. My bread and butter time frame is the 8 hour. I look at the 8 hour because there's not too much noise going on, and I make my analysis on there, and then I enter either on the 1 hour, 15 minute. I know guys enter on the 1 minute, 5 minute, 3 minute. That's fine. For me personally, you can see I'm more of a chill guy, so I like my trading to be chill. I don't really like too much going on. I like to create my thesis, put my setup, where I'm gonna enter, stop, target, place a trade, and go about my day. I don't want to spend 8 to 10 hours on the charts, watching every tick, every point, every pip. That's not freedom, in my opinion. If you're doing that for 30 minutes out the day or an hour out the day, just scalping in the morning, and you're out, heading out, completely different. That's fine. But if you're on the charts all day, looking for every play, trading everything you see, you're basically working a 9 to 5. So you might as well get a job. But if you're actually wanting freedom, then I advise you to trade less. You know what I'm saying? Look for the not the big moves, but look for the trends, right? Look for the big trends on a higher time frame. If we're bullish on a higher time frame, I don't want to go long and follow continuation trades. I want to look for the discount, right? I want to see where we potentially pull back on the 8 hour, 4 hour. Is there a fair value gap there? Is there a demand zone there? Is there a liquidity spot, right? Is there sell side liquidity? Those are areas I'm looking for to base my trades, right? So this trend line looks perfect, right? I look at this as, I trade trend lines from time to time too, but this is trend line liquidity. Eventually, dollar is going to spill and grab all this liquidity. That's how I look at it is. Right now, we're building up trend line liquidity. This is great for whenever it's time for dollar to spill. When will dollar spill? I couldn't tell you. It could be tomorrow. It could be next year. It could be next week. All I can tell you though is when sellers come in and show their hand, I'm gonna be there. I don't need to be first. I'm here to make money. I'm not here to be right and tell all my friends that I caught the top. They won't even know what that means. What does that mean? They know what I made $10,000 means. They know what $20,000 P&L means. They don't care about what price I got in, you know what I'm saying? They wanna know how much money did you make? And this is how every fund works. They don't care, they're not thinking, okay, yes, it's good to enter your price and all that, but at the end of the day, did you make money, did you lose money? That's all that matters, right? I'm not saying focus on the P&L, don't do that, but the end goal is to make money in the markets. If you're trading the markets to be right every single time, then it's gonna be a long career for you, because this is one of the few professions that you actually donate money to the markets. Like, there's other stuff you do where you just get paid. They don't take money from your salary, right? This is one of the few professions where if you're wrong, you pay up. So why would you wanna risk losing money all the time just to be right, and you end up not being right, or just to be first in a trade? Why not let the guys that have trillions and billions of dollars go first, and you follow suit? And I'm not saying to always be a follower, because I'm not a follower, right? Like, I've always been the type of guy to do my own thing. I do have a great support system, family, system. But for the most part, I've done a lot of things on my own, and I'm fine with that. But when it comes to trading, I'm gonna let the guys that have the big bank show their hand first before I make the trade. There's no reason for me to want to go in before them, because they're the ones that move in the markets. Retail is not moving the markets. Institutions are. So, and institutions always show their hand. They show their hand. You just have to be patient. And a lot of people aren't patient. A lot of people aren't patient, and that's one of the reasons why they're not profitable. They're like, I had the right idea, I got in, Why they get stopped out? Did you wait for the big money to show their hand? Was there any liquidity taken on a higher time frame? Was Asia lows untouched if you were selling? PO3. There's a lot of different reasons, right? But for me, again, I'm very patient. I have a strategy that is profitable, took years to refine, and I'm still refining it. But I stick with that strategy, right? And I have a couple strategies that I use, but I stick with the main strategy, depending on the environment. A lot of people have 30 or 40 different strategies. You don't need that. You don't need that many. I feel like 2 or 3 strategies is enough for you to get your first 6 figures. 4 or 5 for sure is enough for you to get your first 7 figures, right? I know a lot of us here are looking, at just making $1,000 a day or, $500 a day. You don't need 5 or 6 different strategies for that. 2 is fine. Literally, 2 is fine. And what you really need is patience. A lot of people can do this, but they want to do it right now. And I keep telling people, I tell my students, there are people that can do that, right? There's people that 6 months in, boom, they're profitable. That's fine, that's cool. But for the majority of people, it's gonna take time, and that's okay, because during that journey, you're getting a lot of chart time, you're getting a lot of experience, right? You're understanding what works for you and what doesn't work for you. What works for someone might not work for you. And you have to really be aware of that. And that takes time and experience, right? It really does. Oh shit, okay. That takes time and experience. What works for you may not work for somebody else, and that's okay, because there's a lot of stuff that my mentor, shout out to Kyle, is my mentor, it works for him, it doesn't work for me, right? And that's because my brain processes the markets differently than he does, but that doesn't mean I don't make money. We end up coming up with the same solution, or same conclusion, sorry. You know what I'm saying? Every trader in ChartFanatics, we don't all trade the same. Do we have certain techniques that we use, or similar things that we use, like fair value gaps and sell side liquidity and order blocks and time of day? Yeah, but you can see if you've been on every ChartFanatics stream, we all trade differently for the most part. Even if it's something super small, right? Matt and AB, if anything, they may trade similar, but they still have different things that they trade different on. And that's what's beautiful about trading. You don't have to trade exactly like someone to make a lot of money. And you have to understand that, because if you try to trade exactly like someone, you're gonna go crazy, because you're not gonna understand their thought process, why they did that. It won't make sense to you. But I will say, when you're first starting out, you do need to find somebody that you can relate to. And then, for the first 3 or 6 months, definitely understand their thought process, their trading, track their trading. Even if it doesn't make sense to you, you want to get that experience first before you change it up and start tweaking it to fit your personality, if that makes sense, because you have to start somewhere. It has to be a baseline. You can't just jump in and be like, nah, it doesn't make sense, because it's like, you don't know. You don't have enough experience to know yet. You will eventually, but you don't have the experience yet. So don't force the process, right? I always say this, buy into the system. If you can't buy into the system of the mentor you're learning from, then that's not the right mentor for you. Or you're just super hard-headed. It can be one or the other. And I'm saying this because I was like that year one. After 2 months, I thought I knew it all. I was like, yeah, I got his trainings. I'm cold, this is that. The markets will humble you. It humbled me. And it's like, okay, I guess I don't have it all. No, you don't. You thought you did because you made some money. You thought you did, but in reality, you didn't. You didn't. You made a couple $1,000s and you thought you were about to buy a Lamborghini next year. Nah. Reality set in. The market said, I was just playing around with you. I want you to deposit more money so I can run you out. And it did. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's been there. Where they deposit money, they're running it up, looks great, and then boom, 1 week happens, half of your account's gone. You're like, what the hell just happened? I was just on a crazy one streak, and all of a sudden now I'm in a drawdown and I don't understand what's going on. I'm using the same techniques I did before and it's not working. That is called trading. Trading, every strategy has a drawdown period. A lot of people don't know that. They're like, and what they do, they switch to the next strategy. They start winning on the next strategy. Boom, another drawdown period comes. You know what they do? Switch to another strategy. Start winning again. What happens? Boom, drawdown. So now they're like, why does this keep happening to me? It keeps repeating. I keep making money and I keep losing. I keep switching strategies and I start winning at the beginning and then I end up in drawdown. And it's like, and it takes people years to understand, like, that first strategy you had was a winning strategy. You just didn't understand the data because you didn't journal, you didn't review. All you saw was green P&L and you thought you had it made. You didn't understand that that strategy is probably 40 to 50% in this environment and 60 to 70% in this environment. Instead, all you saw was money and was like, yeah, I got it made. And then as soon as you start losing money, you want to jump to another strategy. And I feel like that's what majority of traders, beginning traders, and it takes them a couple of years to realize that that first strategy that they learned was all they needed. You can literally make millions off supply and demand zones, support and resistance, Fibonacci ratios, harmonic patterns, ICT, SMC. Does not matter what strategy you have. As long as you have great risk management, right? Great psychology. A lot of people say psychology doesn't matter. That's bullshit. I'm sorry, excuse my language, it's BS. Psychology does play a role. It does. I've seen guys that have great psychology, piss poor strategy, and still make money. I've seen guys that had an amazing strategy, horrible psychology, and they're bleeding money while the next guy next to them that's trading the same strategy is killing it. Not understanding why the same setups he's taking, he's losing and other guys winning. And it comes down to psychology or mind. How do you handle your P&L when you're up 30, 40,000, but the take profits at 70, 80,000? Are you gonna be a man or a woman and hold strong and follow your plan and hit the and let it hit TP? Or are you gonna chicken out and get out for a $15,000 gain, which is great, but if you're risking $5,000, $10,000 a trade, that gain will be gone within 3 trades, right? All it takes is 2 or 3 trades of losing and boom, that gain's gone. And you know I should have held on that winner. That was a great winner. And your coworker next to you has now just made 70, 80,000 on that same setup because he held strong and understood that this strategy works. And if I hold on to my profits, it will make up for all the losers and then some, you know? So, yeah, just giving you some game of stuff I've learned over the years that I wish people would have told me at the beginning of my trading journey, because the mentors I had at the beginning weren't the best. They were more, risk 10% of your account every trade. That doesn't even make sense. I mean, literally, you get 10 tries. And I know, like, with online prop firms, it's kind of like that when you risk 1% and stuff, but that's different than trading live, right? So just trying to give y'all some free game on that, because it does help a lot if you listen and take note. And if you have a strategy that is shown to be profitable and you've been making money and you're in a drawdown period, hold on strong. Just know that every strategy has drawdown periods, right? The best way to tackle a drawdown is to lower your size until you start building consistency again, until you start seeing a strategy work again. Then you can higher your size, right? It doesn't mean you don't just go cold turkey and stop trading that strategy because you have data on that strategy. If you have no data on the strategy, I don't know what to tell you. You're not trading. You're not trading as a professional trader. You might be trading as a hobby, and that's fine. But if you want to be making the real deal, making 5-6 figures a month, you want to take this as a serious, as a business. You don't want to take this as a hobby, because trading, taking trading as a hobby will give you hobby results, right? I like to play basketball. Am I cold at basketball? No, I'm not. Am I good at basketball? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I like to game. I play Call of Duty from time to time. Am I cold at Call of Duty? When I used to take it super serious and wanted to be a professional gamer, yeah. Now, I'm very mid. And that's okay. I'm focused more on other stuff, right? Like I have a business that I'm running. I'm looking at trading. I have big goals for trading and trying to do content creation. And, I'm coaching other students. I'm in, my mentor's Discord as a coach as well, giving insight. You have to choose, really pick and choose, is this for you? A lot of people just see the money and they're like, yeah. But in reality, this is a journey. Are you ready for this journey? Because if you're not ready for this journey, there's other stuff you can do that is less stressful. Will you make as much money long-term? Probably not. But the reason why a lot of people make a lot of money is because they put in a lot of time and effort and they sacrificed a lot to get there. You're not gonna become a millionaire overnight doing this. You may see that online, but in reality, that's just not gonna happen for a majority. There might be a few that hit the lottery, but that's with everything in life, right? But for the majority of people, you're not gonna become a millionaire overnight. Can you become a millionaire trading? Yes, 1000%. But it takes time, effort, sacrifice, dedication, repetition, consistency. It's not It's just like any other sport or industry, right? It's just that the entry it's easier for trading. You don't have to have a degree to be a trader, right? But that doesn't mean trading is easy. Most people think that because all you have to do is click a couple buttons. All right, do that consistently year after year, right? I want to see where you're at 10 years from now. Are you still trading? Are you profitable? Are you still red after 5 years? Like, trading isn't easy. It really tells you about yourself. There's a lot of professions you can do that you can hide behind, a mask, and no one really knows the real you. You can't do that with the markets. It knows your strengths. It knows your weaknesses, and it will attack it. If you have a lot of anxiety over the smallest things, the markets will let you know. If you are very patient with everything in life, the markets will let you know too. If you're too patient, again, you might miss a lot of moves because you're too patient. I had that problem. Whereas I was too patient. I was waiting for every little thing to come together for me to enter a trade. Until I started working at Kirshner, my boss was like, mind you, my boss has been trading for over 50 years. And he'd always say, what's the trade? And I told him to trade, okay, where are you trying to enter at? Well, I'm trying to enter at 245, 50. He'd be like, 240. What range are you trying to enter at? Well, between 240 to 243 or 240. He's like, if it enters anywhere between that $5, $10 range and you don't put any money down or put a trade on, you can go home. We're not trying to be exact here. We're trying to make money. He hated when people would try to be extremely exact. It didn't make sense. He's like, bro, if you try to be exact and miss the trade, what's the point of trying to be exact, right? It's like you missed a trade. You just missed on a $20,000 trade because you wanted to wait 2 points to get in. Put half on. If it gets to that level you want, put the rest on. But you got to put something on, right? So, just remember that too. A lot of people try to get too cute when it comes to trading, and it's like just put something on. For real. All right, let me read the questions. I'm sorry, I tend to ramble a lot. And this is because of my boss. He gave us so much insight. I always said, we had 3 meetings a day, every day for almost 4 years. So just imagine how much knowledge I took from a guy that's been trading in Wall Street, used to work at one of the biggest hedge funds in the United States, was a partner. He saw it grow from 4 billion to 60 billion plus or something like that in its prime. And I got to spend thousands of hours with this guy and learn a lot. And I apply everything that I've learned to my trading as well. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Chick, hold on, that's my boy Alvin. Yeah, he's the GOAT. Yeah. Mike is the GOAT. Hey, so HKZ, right? That is my lead partner. This guy right here had a 6-figure week. I taught him how to trade back in 2017, 2018. He had a 6-figure week. You know what I'm saying? A true boss. We were on the phone literally for hours watching the P&O go crazy. And that takes strong psychology. You know what I'm saying? I've had multiple 5-figure months. I have not had a 6-figure month yet. It's coming. I've had multiple 6-figure years trading, but a 6-figure month, let alone a 6-figure week? Come on now, there's levels, right? There's levels. Literally. That's it. Last year, I literally from October to December, made 150 in 3 month span. It was crazy, just going dumb. But again, I've not had a 6-figure week. There's levels to trading. That's what I love about trading. I'm a gamer at heart. So to me, it's challenges. It's like, okay, cool. And then to have a partner, you know what I'm saying, going crazy with me, it's even better. That's why I'm very big on collaboration. We talked about the gold setup. So what we did is, it was a gold long trade. We talked about it days before. We were analyzing on the weekends. We talk to each other every single day. We talk out our trades together. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes he might not like my setups, and sometimes I might not like his. That doesn't mean we won't trade it. We can have differences, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But to talk out loud is huge. It's a gem. It's huge because in your head, everything makes sense. And when you speak it out loud, sometimes you're like, wow, that kind of sounded stupid. Why did I think that was a good trade? And your partner might see something you don't see, and you're like, yeah, you're right. That didn't make sense. I'm glad I talked this out with you. I did that countless of times when I was at Kirshner. We had a lot of guys that had more experience, Hey, that's cool. So using a zone over sweep or liquidity at a certain level, I'm not understanding that. You're dropping a ton of. I appreciate it. Trust Mike when he teaches you. I appreciate that, for real, man. My bad. I need to read the chat. I'm sorry. I'm zoned in and yeah, can't see your chat. Hey, Mike, can't see your chat of me. Okay, your screen isn't showing, bro. No. Yeah, I'm just I'm rambling right now. I'm about to show my screen pretty soon. He knows what he's talking about and taught me what I know and how to trade. I appreciate you, bro. For real. And Alvin's one of the few people that, back when I started trying to teach people, I started teaching people back in like 2017, 2018. And I always tell, like, people would come up to me because they would see on my Instagram, me making money and having good days. And they'd be like, hey, I want to learn. And I'd always say, start off at babypips.com. And whoever would complete the babypips.com online schooling is who I would take in and actually teach how to trade. And Alvin was one of the few people. Literally, it was like at least 50 to 70 people asked me in that time span from like 2017 to 2019, I want to learn how to trade. I see you've been trading since 2016. You've been making money. You're profitable. And now, you're working at 2020 for sure. When I start working at the firm, everyone's like, yeah, teach me. I'm like, cool, go babypips.com, finish the online schooling and get back to me. And out of like maybe 100 plus people, maybe 2 or 3 out of all that, and Alvin was one of the few. And out of all that, he's one of the only people, or only student as of now, right, that has made 6 figures actually in a week. Yeah, for sure. Like, I have a lot of students that made 5 figures in a month and stuff like that. But again, there's levels to this, right? And again, I'm proud of him. And this is, we're only getting started, right? This is just the beginning, and it's scary and it's lovely because, again, with trading, there's no limit. There's literally no limit. You can go crazy. One day you could be making $100 a day. The next week you'd be making 500. The next month, all of a sudden, I'm making $5,000 a day. And then 2 years from now, it's like, whoa, I'm making 100 grand a day. That's crazy. Like, that's what's so beautiful about trading. Is like, you can go from 0 to 100. It may take some time, but you can get there way faster than, oh yeah, I have to go to med school for 10 years before I can see any type of money. With trading, you don't have to necessarily wait 10 years, right? But again, don't think you're gonna get it done in like 3 months either, right? Pay the tuition, put the time in, the experience in, journal. A lot of people journal the trades, but they don't go back and journal. And the stuff I'm telling you is stuff I did. I'm not just saying a lot of people, I'm a lot of people. I did that when I first started trading. I would journal and feel like I'm doing something. You're just doing busy work. Are you going back on the weekends to review your trades? Or are you just journaling to say, I journal, I'm a professional trader because I journaled? There's a big difference, right? Because if you're just journaling and you're not going back to review what you journaled, are you really learning anything? Or are you just making yourself feel good with dopamine? Really ask yourself that, because there's a big difference. A lot of people say, yeah, I journal. Okay, cool. What trades did you make on Monday? What did you do right or wrong? What could you have done better? I don't exactly, because you're not really reviewing. You're not looking, you're just journaling because it makes you feel good and you feel like you're doing something. But in reality, that's not improving. You're not improving as a trader that way. What is Baby Pips? Baby Pips is a free online schooling that teaches you about Forex, stocks. I think they have options now. It's probably one of the best platforms. Like, a lot of people in 2016, we didn't really have YouTube content like that. So you just would go on babypips.com. And I'm not trying to promote them like that. I don't get paid or anything like that. That's my journey. I started off at babypips.com. And then from there, I started learning, with mentors, because I feel like you can only learn so much online. You actually do need a mentor that you can talk to, ask questions about, in terms of mindset, strategy. Why'd you take this trade? How'd you look at this? So you can learn from them, right? Because there's only so much you can learn off YouTube. You need someone that you can ask questions to and they can give you feedback. But when I say that, I mean people that are verified and actually can make money. You know what I'm saying? That have made money in the markets, or have had professional experience, worked at a firm, worked with a lot of 6-7 figure traders or even 8-figure traders. So you want to make sure that the person that you're following has the experience, because if I am wanting to be a surgeon, I'm not going to learn how to be a surgeon from a carpenter, right? I'm going to go talk to a surgeon that's been doing this for at least 10, 20 years, maybe, or at least 5 at the very minimum, right? Versus trying to go somewhere else that, someone that's also in med school it's not done yet. It's like, it doesn't make sense. You want to go to someone that's experienced and has the resume to show that, right? So that Yeah, I love it. That's what I'm currently doing. I journal, but not really going back and reviewing it. Thanks for sharing it. I'll do better. Yeah, and you don't even have to do that every day. If that's too much for you, at least on weekends, right? You can dedicate at least an hour of your day on a Saturday or Sunday and just review your trades. And then that right there is going to help you over time because you're trying to build consistency. How much do you charge? My Discord's free, and it's going to be free for a while. Right now, I'm just wanting to give content and build my brand and my name up. Like, so I'm not trying to charge at all. If you're doing like one-on-ones, that's different because that's really my time. But in terms of the Discord, Vino and I, we have live streams there a couple times a week. We upload videos, we talk about the trades beforehand, trade management, and we talk, with y'all if y'all have questions, right? But yeah, I'm not here. My ultimate goal, right, is for us to have actually a hedge fund. Like I want to manage money. I'm not really big on the other stuff. People do need that personalized mentorship and all that maybe in the future, but I'm trying to be a true hedge fund manager that says, yeah, I'm managing over $10 billion. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my goal because that's the environment I was around. Again, my last boss was a manager. He was managing billions of dollars. His best friend was managing $40 billion. You know what I'm saying? Or his ex-best friend. So what's good, Matt? Shout out to Matt too. Matt's cold, man. He's literally the definition of discipline. This guy came from the military and then turned into a trader, and also I think you said you're like a software engineer. So he knows the definition of sacrifice, putting in time, tuition, effort to get to where you need to be, right? So it's like you need all of that. The biggest thing really is you definitely need discipline. Can you become a successful, wow, I can't say the word, trader without being disciplined? The odds are very, very low. You have to be disciplined in some area. It doesn't have to be in all area in life, but in some area, especially trading, you can, but it's very, very low. If you want the odds in your favor, which I feel like everyone does, then I would definitely practice on being more disciplined. And it starts with just fixing your bed every day, something small, making sure the dishes are cleaned every day, making sure you go to the gym every day, right? The little things add up. That's how you build discipline. That's how you build that muscle in your brain, and stuff like that. So I definitely would recommend that for those of you who aren't already doing that. That will help and it'll transfer to your trading, and you'll be more disciplined in your trading because of the small things you do, and it'll feel good. You'll feel good about yourself too, because a lot of people aren't doing that. But yeah, we can go to the charts now. Anthony, if you could help me out with that, I appreciate it. All right, so again, I like to trade all markets, right? Whatever's in play, I'm trading, but I also have a system in terms of what I look at every single day. I always go from the left to right. I always start off with the dollar because I live in Texas. So I'm usually trading New York session. I have been trading Asia session for gold lately, but usually it's just New York session. I don't really trade London session because I'm usually asleep. So, with FX, I'm looking at the dollar because I usually trade EU, GU, NU, anything that deals with the dollar, I'm there. Sacrifice is a must, I agree. So what we're seeing right now is, and this is another thing too, which is fine, I'll talk about it later, but as you can see with dollar, we formed a higher low. If you look on a weekly, you can see we have buy side liquidity. We tagged it before, but I just felt like we weren't done yet. I just felt like we were gonna continue higher. Just because of NFP this week, I thought that we'd probably continue to grind up higher and then roll over after NFP came out. We still have news tomorrow. Right now, we're not seeing that. We're seeing that we're still heading higher. So I could be wrong on that, but I still went short earlier this week on EU and GU, made a good amount of money, both 5-figure trades. And then, I have this line. This is my supply zone, right? You can call it order block, whatever you want to call it. We could tag here, that's fine. I use 50 and 200-day EMAs. Came from equity side, so a lot of traders, stock traders, we use 50 and 200-day EMAs. They help me. You don't need EMAs. For me, this is my style of trading. Do you trade options as well? I trade options every now and then. I haven't in a while, but I do every now and then. DXY is the most important. Yeah, DXY does help a lot. I agree. Gives you a foundation of where you think USD pairs are gonna go. So right now, what I'm seeing is that I'm kind of making equal highs, which I'm not a fan of usually. I like to see that get rated before we roll over. So, this is a daily. This is strong daily. I'm not trying to pick a top, right? We could continue to just climb higher tomorrow, and that's fine. There's no trade for me right now, right? I want to see some type of selling pressure from institutions and banks. I'm not seeing that right now. And there'll be people right now saying, hey, we're in a supply zone. I think it's time to roll over. I'm like, no, I don't see that. We still have an hour and a half left in the day. If we close like this, we could easily continue to go higher before rolling over. Now, if we were to close like this on a daily, a doji, right, showing sellers are, and buyers don't have any more pressure after taking buy side liquidity, the odds of this rolling down are way higher. We're already in a premium, right? Right now, we came back, we mitigated a daily fair value gap, I believe, or maybe it was like a weekly. Yeah, weekly fair value gap, came up higher. So I'm not looking for dollar shorts just yet. I would want to ideally see 100, since it's a whole level be broken below. If I see something like, we press higher, boom, lower high, then we break this, low to form another lower high, then I'm like, okay, cool. Now I'm bearish, but I'm okay waiting. I don't want to go short here. I don't need to, because we can continue higher. I don't know, I don't know the future. What I do know is when sellers show their hand, I'm there. Patience pays. We always say that in my Discord, patience pays. Because again, I don't care about being right and being the first person in, catching top. I care about making money. And the way to make money with less stress is wait for the big money to come in first. Simple as that. If you learn anything today from what I've said is wait for the big money to show their hand first, then go in. If that means that your entry isn't the best, so be it. Not every trade you're gonna have an amazing entry. As long as you're making money, does it really matter? You know what I'm saying? And again, this is for my style of trading. If you're a scalper, it might be different. I day trade and swing trade, so I don't really scalp too much unless I'm trading like futures, then maybe. But again, even then, I'm making sure that whatever time frame I'm looking at, there's some sellers showing their hand. I don't need to be catching. Yes, power of three, you want to be on the wick side on a daily if you're short. But that's if the day before you see that there's sellers in, right? The day before I see sellers in, cool. Next day, I want to see the power three. I want to see us manipulate, and before dropping, right? Or consolidate, manipulation, and then drop. Cool. And I want to get in on that wick. That's different. I'm not doing that on day one of the red day. I'm waiting for the next day. Let me see. Discord's awesome. What do you trade? Do you trade options? You have separate, or you're mentioning about ChartFanatics. I'm not understanding that. Have you heard of CRT? I have heard of CRT. I don't know what it is. I'm not looking to learn what CRT is. No disrespect to CRT. I'm sure it works, but I already have my system down that I've been using for the last 4 or 5 years. There's a such thing as analysis paralysis, where you're over learning. And if you find something that's profitable and has been profitable for you for years, you don't need to keep finding something like a holy grail, right? I'm not saying CRT is a holy grail, but if you have a strategy that is showing you profitability, why do you need to go learn another strategy? Remember that. You know what I'm saying? Again, I told you, there's guys at the firm that are just trading support and resistance for probably 20 plus years and have made $40+ million doing that. There's guys that are trading supply and demand zones for 20 years. I know one guy that literally traded trend lines. His lifetime career earnings is over $80 million just trading trend lines. Of course, he has his own style or other stuff involved, but the main thing was trend lines. So there's no holy grail. You don't need to. You just gotta find a strategy that makes sense to you and your personality, and you're good to go. Do you use order flow to help with the trades, and do you follow a strategy? Do you have a pattern that you look for to enter the trade, or every trade is based on a different? So I'm not a mechanical trader. I'm more discretionary. So I would definitely say a lot of my trading comes from my intuition and experience in the past. In terms of how do I enter? I usually like to look for some type of either buy side or sell side liquidity, or maybe some impulse like a bearish or bullish engulfing. Like for example, let's say I'm looking to go long. I would like to see something like maybe some equal lows here, right? Get rated, and then we get a nice engulfing and then fair value gap. I would like that to go higher, and then vice versa. Like that's ideal for me, right? For an entry setup on a 15-minute time frame, ideally. Sometimes on a 5 depends, but on a 15 is ideal. Then there's other things too. Sometimes I won't get that, double bottom. Maybe I get a higher low or whatever, and we break another higher low, right? If I get a fair value gap, cool. I'll enter on that as well and have my stops at the low here. So it just depends on what I'm looking for at that time. I don't have just one buy entry or sell entry. I'm going off just my instincts and intuition, but I do have a process of my strategy. I'm looking at, are we in the premium or discount? I use Fibonacci ratios a lot. Are we between 50% and 79%? I'm not a continuation trader. I don't buy at the highs. I wait for the pullbacks. I like fair value gaps a lot. I like demand zones a lot. I like structure a lot. I'm watching all of that. Price structure, structure, as you can see, this is nice structure, right? In lines with the fair value gap. And we're in a discount. This right here is an ideal trade for me to go long. This is great. Stuff like that. So I put all that together. I'm a confluence trader. I need 3 or more things in order for me to get into a trade. Not 10 or more, not 12 or more, 3 or more. A lot of people will have 5, 6, 7 different things. That's overkill. If I do see that, that's great. For me, I just need 3. 3 things that let me know it's time to go. 3 things that let me know it's time to go. That's crazy. All right, cool. Hey, clip that. No, I'm just playing. But yeah. So I don't need too many things showing me it's time to go, right? Just keeping it short. But yeah, I think that's what I struggle with. Do you trade props or your own capital? Both. Do you like I've never used actually used Take Profit Trader one time, but I wasn't in the right headspace for futures. I've traded futures, but futures with online props versus trading futures in a brick and mortar prop firm, like a real prop firm, is completely different. Because with futures on an online, you have the trailing drawdown, you have the end of day drawdown, you have consistency rules. In a real prop firm, you don't have any of that. They want you to make money, so they're not gonna give you all these crutches. They just say don't lose more than 10 grand a day. You know what I'm saying? If you can't follow the risk parameters, that's different. But in terms of trailing drawdown and consistency rules and end of day drawdowns, I told my boss about that too. He laughed. He was like, they want y'all to fail. I'm like, bingo, you understand. I'm not saying that they're bad, because if you're a good trader, you can overcome all of that and still get payouts. Of course, we all do that, right? But don't think that that's in your favor, unless you're just bad with risk. And then that's just a you problem that you have to develop and get better with. But understand, real prop firms are not doing that. Brick and mortar, but there's still a place for online props. Of course, if you leverage it correctly, you can definitely get a lot of payouts. And it's probably one of the best things that's happened for traders, because not a lot of traders have a lot of capital to trade with, right? So go the online prop firm route and leverage, if you're a good trader, and get payouts and use those payouts to fund your live account. I think, okay. If DXY and gold are both bullish, isn't that confusing? No, it's not, because DXY and gold don't always have to correlate. And there's times where you'll see that the correlations are sometimes strong, sometimes they're not. Just depends on the environment. I don't really use DXY anymore for gold, because gold's doing its own thing. It's more focusing on the economic factors versus DXY. And you can see it does its own thing every time. So I wouldn't correlate. A lot of people try to correlate it and they get confused. Years ago you could do that. There was a stronger correlation. But just because there was a stronger correlation years ago, doesn't mean there's gonna be a strong correlation right now, right? Things change, the markets change all the time. My bad, I needed some water. Yeah, please drop your questions in the chat. I'm here to answer. I missed out last week, and y'all have had some great guys already on. I saw, Marco was on this morning. Matt, again, is a beast. AB, Tyler, I know y'all like Tyler. I know my energy is completely different from Tyler's. Shout out to that guy. I'm just more of a chill guy. I like to give my knowledge and experience, and Tyler's a beast trader as well. But I'm pretty sure it's either got to be crack or cocaine. I don't know. It's one or the other. But I've just never seen a guy with that much energy all day. That's impressive. It's very impressive. That's my brother, though. He's real and very down to earth. 3 confluence on the highest time frame you use. Yeah. Or it can be on a 1 hour, If I see 3 confluences on there, that's more than enough for me as well. Tyler is a beast, for sure. NASDAQ is down. Let me see. Yeah, and you can see too, right? I already have the markup, the daily fair value gap. We were already in a bearish environment, making lower highs, lower lows, pull back in. If you use fibs, I already know we're above 50%. So this was the first time, I believe, when I first, because it was two shorts opportunities, right? The first time was up here when we were at 61.8, and then even if you use it again, well, I mean, I guess you couldn't use it for this since this is happening right now. But if we go down to the lower time frame, I'm sure, I mean, beautiful supply zone as well, right? And again, we might draw supply zones differently. That's fine. We have a supply zone. We have an 8-hour fair value gap as well. This 8-hour fair value gap. You can see that the body never went above the fair value gap. It tried, and then boom, sold off, right? So as you can see, I'm really big on the fair value gaps for my style. It works well with the way I look at the markets. I like structure. I like supply and demand zones. Again, I don't, order blocks are the same as supply and demand. You can argue with whoever, but I'm just gonna say that for me. But I keep it simple. Like this right here, from this high to this low, we're in a premium, right? Go short, we're in an 8-hour fair value gap. On a bigger time frame, we're on a daily fair value gap, which already showed sellers in. So the odds of sellers coming back in were pretty high. And this is really disgusting. This sell-off is disgusting, and it matches with the data we got. We have, unemployment numbers were higher, Philly Fed was bad, jobless claims, I think they were a little lower. NFP numbers for September were higher, which means that inflation is still gonna stick around, which gives the Fed a reason to not cut rates. Markets don't like that. So you see how I'm putting a story together with the fundamentals and then looking at the markets, where chart is at, where the chart's at, it comes together. It's like, okay, you see the news, you process it, and then you look at the chart, and then boom, you come up with the trade, right? And again, it's gonna take some time. I also learned a lot from a couple of fundamental traders at my last firm. One that worked for Ray Dalio, one that was Paul Tudor Jones' mentee. So I was very fortunate to learn from some really, really good traders at my last firm that learned from some really great traders, right? Like my boss's ex-best friend is Steve Cohen. If you research Steve Cohen's net worth and his, his firm, Point72, multi-billion-dollar hedge fund, imagine how much knowledge he learned from his best friend that he's passing down to me and my team. And that's the type of information I want to pass down to the students I have, right? And my partner as well. I'm teaching him things every day, and he's teaching me things too. I'm a student to the game. I want to learn new things every day. I love learning new things, whether it be trading, whether it be languages. When I was in China for a week, I was literally asking ChatGPT to teach me words every single day, because I was just tired of hearing just ni hao, ni hao. I wanted to learn more than ni hao. You know what I'm saying? Everyone knows ni hao. Or I know sheshe, thank you. I can't remember a lot right now, but there was a lot of words I was using, and they were like, wow, you're learning fast. I'm like, thanks to chat. So always if you don't like to learn, I don't know if this would be good for you, because you're going to be learning regardless whether you like it or not. And it's one thing, a lot of people learn, but then it's like, are you fixing the mistakes you're making, or are you focusing on your strengths, or are you just doing the same thing over and over? Because if you do the same thing over and over and you're not being profitable, then odds are there's something missing that you haven't really looked at and you're purposely trying to avoid. So these are actual in-person brick and mortar. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, actual person where you go to the firm, you open the door. Yeah, brick and mortar. Tyler, could you please show us an example of 3 confluence? I just showed you right now. Literally, we had a daily fair value gap 1. We got an 8-hour fair value gap 2. We're already bearish, environment. That's 3 right there. And then the killer supply zone, right? And I don't think Asia high at that time was even touched at that time. Yeah, this is 4 a.m. So Asia highs were still untouched. Boom, Asia highs get touched, we roll over. And then once we get underneath the 200-day, we're going down, right? 50 days, so this is just overkill at this point, right? It's overkill. Like I already knew on a bigger time frame, we've been making lower highs, lower lows. There's no reason to go long. Buyers, and I told in the group, I was like, maybe if buyers do show their hands after we take sell side, the equal lows, they might be long. There was a small long opportunity. We didn't get back to the highs. We came back to the daily fair value gap. As you can see, we touched it again. Sellers weren't ready. They weren't done selling off. You know, they sold off the first time around, but you know what, banks and institutions, they can't sell off everything because they know they can move the market. So they want a dollar cost average when they're selling, right? They sold probably, let's say $10 billion worth over here, came back again, sold another 10 billion. We come back, make a lower high, they might sell another 10 billion. We don't know, right? Let's see. What's your thoughts on Bitcoin and ETF? I'll look at that soon. Does US 30 always move ahead of NASDAQ and S&P, and can we use it to predict NASDAQ movements? Does US 30 always move ahead of NASDAQ and S&P? I don't know what you mean by that in terms of what, like the selling. You have to understand, like when a lot of people, and that's another thing too, when you're trading NQ, ES, and the Dow, are y'all actually looking to see what's in these ETFs? Like you have to understand like the Dow thinks the top 30 companies, NASDAQ is the top 100 tech companies, ES is the top 500. If I were y'all, I would see sometimes or look and see the top 5 in each, index that you're trading, see what's going on in that environment because they're the ones that are gonna lead the way. If Tesla, Microsoft, Nvidia, and Amazon are all dumping, the odds of NQ dumping are extremely high. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be mindful with that when you're trading indices, especially NQ, a tech sector. Right now, everyone's talking about the AI bubble. You can see what NQ is doing right now. There's a lot of fear going on. Do I think that this is the top of the year? No, we could easily reverse back. And this is a healthy pullback. A lot of people, there's fear in the markets. We'll see what happens when if we do come down to 23,000. We'll see. I don't know if we're gonna do that this week. We could probably consolidate next couple of days and then go higher. I'm not really sure in terms of what's gonna happen, because if I did know exactly what's gonna happen tomorrow, I'd probably get arrested because that's insider trading and I don't know what's gonna happen. So all I know is to be prepared, right? Right here, first green day, cool. Buyers are showing their hand. Let's see the next day, right? This is where I'm gonna be going long. I don't go long the first day. I wanna make sure that the buyers are showing their hand. When I say buyers, again, I'm not talking about retail. I'm talking about the institutions, the banks, the people that actually matter in the markets, right? We're playing their game. If they want this to go up, we have no choice but to follow them up. If they want price to go down, which they want price to go down, we have no choice but to follow the big money heading down. And that's okay. I'd rather them show me their hand so I can make money than I have to go risk my hard-earned dollars and potentially be wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought my big money was gonna move the markets. It's not like what? You literally have people showing you their hand and all you have to do is be patient and wait and you can grab and make money. That's beautiful. Who cares about being right? I'm trying to make money. I can be right playing Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying? I can be right with other stuff. I don't need to be right when it comes to trading, right? I need to be making sure I'm profitable year after year, month after month. Being profitable for a couple of days is nothing. What are you doing month after month, quarter after quarter, year after year? You know what I'm saying? Look at this as a long term. Unless you're just trying to trade for a year and stop, then that's fine. Go ahead. Me, this is a long-term journey for me. Again, I'm about to be at year 10 next month. 10 years of trading, and I'm still learning new things every day. Every day is different. We've never experienced a government shutdown this long ever. I'm experiencing history with you all, right? During COVID, that was crazy too. I experienced history. Sorry, I'm not sure if I was able to, I said the word, but hopefully we're good. But that was all new. That was new to me. I'm sure it's new to everybody else, right? That's what's so amazing about trading. Every day is different. Every day is different. I'm a fan of you guys already. I appreciate that. How do you differentiate a move that's retail or institutional? Would it just be volume and the size of the move? Exactly, yes. You can tell, and even then, even if it is retail, there's still institutions in play. But example, like this for sure, institutions in play. Institutions on both sides, right? Just because institutions are in play doesn't mean that they all follow the same, They don't need to do that. Institutions in play right here. When you see the big moves, the big trends, these are institutions, right? Causing these moves. Majority of the time, if retail is making a move, it'd probably be on like the 1 minute or 3 minute maybe. Then maybe they're making small moves, but I don't look at those time frames, right? I'm looking at the daily, the 8 hour, the 4 hour, the 1 hour, and then making my entries on a 15 minute. So when I'm looking at these higher time frames, I'm understanding what the true move is at. Because if you look at the small time frames, the 1, 3, and 5, and I always preach this, too much noise. If you like all that noise, that's fine. Me, I like peace. I like peace. You know, one of my favorite rappers is Larry June. He talks about eating healthy, getting money, investing in real estate, and enjoying life. Chill guy. That's how I live my life too. Like, I like peace. I like to make money. I like to travel. I like to try new food. I like to try new things. And I like to be grateful for where I'm at. You know, I wouldn't be where I'm at today if I wasn't grateful for the highs and the lows. The lows made me to what I am today. I wouldn't have been where I'm at in trading if I didn't have big lost days. I learned from those, right? You learn from your losses way more than you learn from your wins. So, you know, keep that in mind too when you're having a 2 or 3 week drawdown period. Just know there's someone that's having 4 or 5 month drawdown period. Just know that I saw someone have a whole year drawdown period. It happens and still climbed out. And it's like, okay, you're having a 2 or 3 week drawdown period and you're down, let's say 5, 10 grand. I'm watching guys that are down $5, $6 million, not getting a paycheck for the whole year, and still coming to work every single day, clawing out the drawdown, and still end up getting out the drawdown and getting paid after a year. If that's not discipline, I don't know what is. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine that. You go to work every day, you're looking at your P&L, I'm still down 5 million. I'm still down 4 million. Still down 3 million. Okay. But every month I'm making 500K there, 800K there, $1 million there. I lost 300K here, made 600K, right? It's not like they're coming back and they're going crazy. There's a reason why they're in the drawdown, right? There's a reason why. So exactly, Alvin, I'll throw up too. And I saw it. And the best thing about the firm, you know, KTG and S&B, that you can see the blotters. They let you see the blotters. It's full transparency, right? So you would see these guys and you'd be like, damn, bro, like that's a lot of money to be down. And these guys are professionals, man. They're like, this is part of the game. This is what I chose. I know I'm gonna get out of this drawdown because I know I'm him or her. Simple as that. You have to have a crazy amount of confidence in yourself or else you won't make it. You have to. Because if you're skittish and not super confident, it affects your trading. You have to be delusional at times to get out of drawdowns like that. There's some people in this world that will never see $1 million. So imagine being drawdown 5, you know what I'm saying? And then getting out the drawdown and getting the paycheck. 7-figure drawdown, my mortgage isn't paid. I can't eat. Oh, for real. Pleasure to meet you too. I got a year in, killing my demo account, not so much my personal, not sure why. And you know, that's gonna happen. It just, again, that deals with psychology, right? It's easier when you're trading with a demo account versus your personal because you understand that you worked hard for that money. You worked hard, and whether you like it or not, your subconscious is going to affect you when you're trading live. But you get better over time. You're a year in. Shout out to you for sticking through, right? Continue to keep doing it. You'll see improvements, right? As long as you're journaling, tracking your trades, seeing what strategy works for you, seeing your hit rate, you'll get better. You'll have better environments. This year has been a crazy year of trading for anyone that started, right? We've gone through a lot already. It's been an insane year. So there'll be better years with easier environments and you'll see money pouring in. You'll be like, wow, that's crazy. This is a way easier year than it was last year. That's the markets. The markets, it's ebbs and flows. There's some years that it's really hard, some years that it's really easy. And the years that are really easy, that's when you push on the gas. I repeat, that's when you push on the gas. And that's when you make the majority of your money. A lot of traders, you can interview them, they'll say majority of my money was made in this time span, right? You know, besides that, I'm hitting, you know, singles and doubles here and there, but the majority of my money was made in this time span. When the environment was suitable for me, I pushed on the gas. You have to remember that, you know. Facts. We've seen some crazy things. Pleasure. Okay. Are you doing Yeah, at the end I'm doing a giveaway. Must be something with psychology and risk management. Exactly. Yeah. That's usually what it is. Because the thing with us, we're human beings, right? And we're naturally gonna be greedy, whether we like it or not. So when you're in a winning streak, you naturally wanna raise your risk, which makes sense only after a while, not if you win 3 or 4 trades. All of a sudden now you're going from I'm risking $100 to risking 10,000. But a lot of people will do that. They're like, bro, I'm winning every trade. I'm about to load the boat. And then when it's that trade where you load the boat is where it takes all your gains and puts you right back in drawdown. We've all been there. We've all been there. And if you haven't been there, you may be there one day. And if not, shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, a lot of traders getting that, it happens because you have to be delusional and super confident. And that can be a pro or con. You have to be, I call it controlled chaos when you're trading. It legit needs to be controlled chaos because you have to be a sniper, right? Not in terms of sniping as in picking the exact entry, but taking a shot, right? Putting some money on the table. And sometimes you can get a little too confident, and that's when you start really messing up, right? Like there's a fine line between being delusional, and being confident, and being too confident to the point where you're not trying to hear anyone. They're like, hey, bro, I think you should slow down right now. Like, yes, you're super hot, you've been doing well, but I think the environment's about to change. And you're like, no. And the environment starts changing, and you're still putting on the same size. It's like, all right, you've been warned, and you didn't want to listen, and now you're wondering, why am I losing 2-3 weeks in a row? The environment has changed. You need to lower your size. But until then, it can continue. Like, again, if you're hot, you're in a hot streak, don't slow down. Continue to push the gas until the environment changes, right? None of my bosses have ever said, yeah, I'm in a hot streak, I'm gonna slow down. You don't do that in basketball or football, right? If Kobe's going crazy and he's up 30 points before halftime, are we gonna stop passing the ball to Kobe? No. Kobe, take the shot every time. We need you to hit 100 points this game. You're at 30 before halftime. We're not gonna start passing, like what? Imagine that. Michael Jordan's up 50 points in the third quarter, now we're gonna slow it down, but we're down by 10. Doesn't make sense. We're not doing that. When you're hot, press the gas, because you're not going to be hot all year. As much as you would like, you're not going to, and that's fine. But when you're hot, press the gas, and when you're cold, chill. You know what I'm saying? Lower the size, build the consistency again. Save the profits you made whenever you're hot. So just keep that in mind, because a lot of people they start making money and they have big days and they're like, okay, I'm scared, I don't want to give the profits back. No, that's not the right mindset to have. You need to follow your process. If you see a setup and that setup's been making you money for the past 3 weeks and you're not taking it because you're scared to lose your profits, trading's not for you. You're not gonna make the big money you want to. You gotta press the gas, right? There are billion-dollar corporations from digging up the gold dust instead of looking for big nuggets. Yeah. Mike, how can one break the cycle of tilt? Thank you. I've struggled with patience. That's a good question, but how do you break the cycle of tilting? That is a really good question. And do you really even break that cycle? We're human beings. We have emotions. We're meant to feel our emotions, right? There's going to be times. In a situation like that, the biggest thing you can have is a accountability partner. Like I said, my firm was big on collaborations. We had a lot of teams. I worked with a team. Your teammates will sense it. They'll see it on the P&L. When they see you're in a crazy losing streak and you're now, instead of trying to lower size, you're doubling down on size, you need that person to tell you, hey bro, chill out. There's gonna be better opportunities. If you put that trade on right now, this might be the last trade for you at this firm, right? And then you're like, oh crap, like, okay. It got real, because when you're locked in and zoned in, you don't see anything from the outside in. You're tunnel vision. You're trying to make the money back. You don't care what's going on. You need someone to tap you on the shoulder. That's why we have risk managers at the firm to tap you on the shoulder and be like, easy. We know you can make money, but we also know that every trader has drawdown periods. So why not just chill out for the day, come back tomorrow, refresh your mind, and let's start off with small size and build up. We know you can make money. We've seen you make money. You've had your streaks. But if you go down this route and you tilt and blow all your profits, you're gonna be way more mad that no one stopped you and told you to relax, right? So again, I always preach on having a team with you, a strong team. They will help you out, because when you start talking out your trades, what you're doing right and wrong, they can let you know. They'll hear it in your voice, whether you hear it or not. Because most people will be in denial. They're like, no, I'm not on tilt. I do this. Yeah, you do this, but you're a human being just like everyone else, and you're not gonna get every call right, So I would recommend definitely having some teammates, some guys that you have the same strategy or can relate to, that you can talk to, and confidence about trading, because trading is extremely hard and you have your up days and your down days. So you want to make sure it's way better whenever you're talking it out with a group. It helps with those red days. I promise. It really does. Because it can be tough. Invest yourself in trading. Money will come with patience. Facts. Mike, COT reports, what do you think about them? Do you use them to check how institutions are positioning? I used to use COT reports years ago. I don't as much anymore. Do they play a role? I mean, if you're a swing trader and you're holding for weeks or months, sure. But I don't use it anymore. I didn't feel like I needed to use that for my type of trading, but it does help if you do use it. But again, I'd like to keep my strategy as simple as possible. I don't need too many outside factors trying to help me decide if I should get in long or short. But it does help. I mean, you know, if you look at it once a week or once a month, cool, because I think it does come out weekly, right? But for me personally, I don't use them as much. Sometimes I will watch videos on YouTube of guys that are using them and they'll explain it, and that's cool, but I don't go out my way to see what the big guys are doing. I just let the charts show me, to be honest. Such good advice. Always look forward to your guidance. I appreciate you, man. Do you use seasonal tendencies? Again, not really. I know they play a role. I know Larry Williams talks about that, right? And of course ICT. I do believe in, like, you know, Santa Claus rallies, you know, end of the year, which we might see after Black Friday. I'm not sure. I do believe that beginning of the year can be slow at times. I believe summer times could be slow a little bit because everyone's on vacation, but even then, it doesn't hold too much weight, in my opinion, except September. That's my birthday month, and most of the time it's a red month in the stock market, and I've seen that definitely hold weight. So, but otherwise, not really, no. How's the trading game during the holidays? I heard a few people say they don't like to trade during the holidays. Yeah, because it's not that much volume. So if you're trading during the holidays, you have to like shorten your targets because we don't have enough volume or liquidity to really move the markets. So it's a hit or miss. You can still trade, but it's not as smooth as, you know, if you were trading in August or, you know, February or March or something like that. But you'll see a lot more choppiness in price action during the holidays, but there's still opportunities, right? There's so many different markets you can trade from. I'm using them for correlations with retail traders, and long-term price is always going opposite to retail. Yeah, for the majority of, that's usually how it is, right? But again, remember, these guys have a bigger bankroll, so they can withstand drawdown longer than you can. So just keep that in mind too. Sometimes retail will be right, and then you will then get the institutions coming in. So just keep that in mind. Charts and price is over everything. This is over everything, right? Again, I look at technicals, I look at fundamentals, and I like to combine both. I used to just be a technical trader until I started working at KTG, and then I started learning a lot more about fundamentals and understood that fundamentals play a huge role when it comes to the markets, and I combined them both, and that's when I really started seeing acceleration in my trading journey and my P&L and everything. How do you navigate through the 8 hour? I can, I guess, show you. I mean, as you can see, like with this 8 hour, it's just a lot less noise versus, let's say if we went to the 1 minute. It's too much noise. Yes, you can make good trades off this, but I want to see what's going on a bigger scope, right? Because I can make the same trade, you know? So on this 8 hour, we can see, again, I'm seeing lower highs, lower lows. I'm seeing fair value gaps. I'm seeing structure, see the gaps, easy. I can make multiple trades off the 8 hour, like doing my analysis here and understanding what areas I'm looking at to go long or short. Like right now, you know, this would have been target number 3, right? We have the target over here. You can see equal lows on the 8 hour, clear as day. We see we tapped it in, and then next target, we just filled it in already. So if I'm looking over here, I'm looking at where structure is. Where's the next structure area? I would say possibly around over here. It's not strong structure, but price could come down here. What is that, 23.8? You know what I'm saying? It could come down here and that's fine and bounce. Who knows? But I can see everything clear as day. So if I know that I think price is gonna go down here, then I'll just go down to the 4 hour, you know, see what's going on. Usually it's kind of similar to the 8 hour, it's fine. Sometimes I might see a nice fair value gap. I go down to 1 hour, not too much going on that I would like to see. in terms of this, because I'm like already had a break and retest, for guys that trade, break and retest structure. So this type of trading, this is not ideal for me. My style of trading would have been shorting around this area, right? This was the supply zone. I trade in premiums. I short premiums. I buy discounts. I'm not shorting in a discount. Does it work and continues lower? Yeah. The odds are pretty high right now, but that's not my style of trading, and I'm okay missing this trade. I'll wait for the longs. When will the longs arrive? Maybe around this area, right? Maybe we clear these lows, tap the 200-day, bounce, and then go higher. If price does do this, yes, I'm looking for longs. If price never gets this low, that's fine. I'll wait to see what happens. But I know already off rip where my area is, right? If we go on the 8 hour, you can see nice structure too. We can see probably the sell side over here. We grab sell side, you know what I'm saying? Make higher lows, boom. We get a first green day around this area after a couple of days, maybe consolidation because of the move. Cool. Again, I don't know if we're gonna go all the way down here. This is 23,000. We might, I'm not sure. But that's how I look at the 8 hour. The 8 hour is just clear. It's smooth. It's not too much going on, enough for me to make my analysis in less than 2 minutes. Okay, looks like once the market opens, there must be liquidity in the 4 hour. Yeah. Do you always make sure to be out of all positions before NFP, FOMC rate, and CPR? Do you consider holding some trades too? That's a good question. I would say, for the most part, it just depends. Let's say example, I'm in gold, right? Before NFP or FOMC, and gold has moved, let's say, where's gold right now? Let's say gold moved from 4,000 to 4,300, and I got long 4,000, right? I'm gonna hold gold into NFP. If I got long at 4,000 and gold's at 4,300, I'm gonna go long. I'm gonna hold my position. If I got long at 4,000 and gold's at 4,040 and NFP is in 30 minutes, I'm getting the hell out of there. I am getting the hell out of there. What? So it depends on the situation. How much in profit am I in? Do I think that there's a buy side liquidity, a target? Do I think that gold goes higher, right? If that's the case, I'm gonna stay in, right? I'm a trader. I put the risk on, I'm way ahead. My stops are in profit, I'm okay. If I get slipped, that's fine, but the odds of me getting slipped from entering 4,000 and I'm up and gold's moved $300, even with NFP, gold will probably move like $50 in like maybe a minute or two, maybe $100 max. But to move $300 in a minute, I don't know. The odds are very slim, you know what I'm saying? But even then, stops are in profit and stuff. But am I doing that often? No, I'm not doing that often. It's just, it depends on the situation, depends on how much in profit I'm in. If I'm just a little bit in profit on a trade, I'm getting out. I don't like to trade before news or be in positions before news. But if I know that news, the odds of news pushing to my target are high, I'm gonna stay in, because most of the time that's what news is, right? It's just gonna drive volatility and volume into your target for the most part. Or at least you hope so, right? You hope so. Do you always make sure to be, okay, thank you so much, no problem. What do you need in order to work for a trade firm? You need guts, discipline, resilience. You need to be able to work as a team. You need to know someone from the inside, or you need to have a track record, 2 to 3 year track record showing consistency. What else do you need? It just depends. Every firm has different requirements, right? Not every firm is gonna have the same requirements. But you, at the very least, need to know how to make money. If you're going, post-college. If you're in college right now, then you can get an internship at a firm. A lot of people do that. They'll get internships at the prop firms, hedge funds. And then from there, most times, if you do good at the internship, you get hired, right? I got lucky. I didn't get an internship at KCG. I got an internship somewhere else, but I was able to follow. I was able to see that they had a program for college students post college that they just started at the time I just graduated, and I applied, and I had a couple rounds of interviews. But the biggest thing was that I came in after. So the first round, I did really well. They said they'd hit me up, waited a couple weeks, didn't get a call back. But I wasn't just gonna sit there and just wait for them to call me back and say, sorry, we told somebody else. I just went there, I put a suit on, I went up there and said, hey, I'm ready for round 2. I'm willing to work for free. I will come here before anybody else and I'll leave after everybody else. I'm willing to do whatever it takes because I knew the knowledge and experience I would get would be way worth what I was gonna get paid at that firm. So I would rather do it for free because I knew all that I would take in would help me with my experience and journey of trading. You know what I'm saying? Like imagine you had the opportunity to work with 7, 8, 9-figure traders every single day. Most people don't get the opportunity, and you get to see exactly how they're trading, their methodology, their mindset, you know, why they got in the trade, why they got out. You know, all that to me, you can't put a number on that because once you take all that in and apply that, you have no choice but to be a beast if you apply it correctly. If you learn, if you ask questions. I asked so many questions because I knew I was gonna be there forever. So, you know, you gotta really, that's just part of the sacrifice you are willing and commitment that you're willing to put in to be great. Because I'm not trying to be a good trader, or there's a lot of good traders and okay traders. I'm not trying to do that. If I had 10 lives, cool. Yeah. This life, maybe I would want to be I'm trying to be a great trader. I'm trying to be a great trader. In order for you to be a great trader, you have to do things others aren't willing to do. The greats talk about it every time. Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. You know, these guys, they've literally told you their stories. They've done things others won't do. And they got results that others will never get, right? So you gotta, you know, it just depends on your mindset. My mindset's always been like that. Whatever I'm doing, I'm trying to be the best at. Will I ever be a great trader? Who knows? I don't know, but I'm gonna continue to strive for it every single day. I can tell you that, you know? So, do you have a pending? What does that mean? What college major is required for a trading firm? I wouldn't say there's really a college major that's required, but if you had to choose one, probably like either finance or business management. But it's really more of, are you trading during college, right? They want to see, do you understand the markets at all? Do you understand what you're getting yourself into? How are you when it comes to handling losses? Or, you know, and there are actually questions like, when is the time you've taken a loss in your life and how did you respond to it, right? How are you with teamwork? How are you with even just working? Has your knowledge of trading stocks carried over to trading Forex? Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, for sure. Kind of. In a way, I guess. In a way, not a whole lot. You know, those are different markets, but kind of. Yeah, I don't have a pending order right now, but I said in my group that I'm just not sold that gold is ready to go higher yet. I do think ultimately we do go back to the highs and go higher, but I think we might want to grab sell side first, either around 4,000 or even go lower before heading higher. Don't know if it's gonna work. I don't have a trade on right now because of time of day, but I'm gonna be watching during Asia session to see if we get a sell off, and if so, I'll probably get in short. You know, but I ultimately am waiting for that long setup, right? I want to see us get down to discount again and go long and hold and swing. Marco, my guy. Hey, this is a GOAT right here. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people probably learned from him earlier today. This is a GOAT, you know what I'm saying? Down to earth guy who's also put in time and effort, extremely disciplined, focused, understands the sacrifice you have to make to be a great trader. He understands it, he gets it. He also has a business partner too, right? That he they collaborate and they talk about trading probably every single day, just like I do with my boy Alvin, right? We talk every day on the phone. We're talking about different trades and setups, right? It's huge, bro. Having a team really does help with your trading journey and career. It's essential. Every hedge fund has a team. Every prop firm has a team. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be a lone wolf trader, that's fine. But you can see the guys that are making the big bucks all have a team. So why do you think that you're just too good to have a team? You know? So just keep that in mind. Yo, man, always, yeah, of course, fam. Like, yeah, you're the real deal, bro. You're the real deal. And, you know, his YouTube channel has a lot of great content. A lot of my friends actually watch his YouTube channel and have learned a lot. So shout out to you on that, bro. You break things down really easy, and Your strategy isn't extremely complicated either, and you make a lot of money because you know simplicity is key. And you understand where you want to go in long, where you want to short. You understand that if it's not matching your setup, you're not taking a trade. You're okay missing out because you know that there's going to be a next trade. There's going to be a trade tomorrow, a trade next week, next month, you know? So what would be the difference between a good trader in comparison? A good trader is a guy that can, you know, a good trader is someone that's still profitable. He's making, you know, a couple thousand here and there every month. Not probably the most disciplined, but understands how to make money. Not really that passionate about it, but again, knows how to make money. You know, he journals every now and then, not as consistent, because you don't have to be extremely consistent to make money, but that's, again, you're just being a good trader. A great trader is doing, again, things that people don't want to do. Reviewing trades, talking out the trades, really talking about the losses. No one wants to talk about the losses, right? Because you really want every trade idea to win. You think that a lot of people, you know, ego plays a huge role for a lot of people, and they don't like their ego to get hurt. So they don't want to talk about the losses. They want to focus on the wins. A great trader focuses more on the losses than the wins. He's trying to improve and become great. The guys, again, guys I mentioned, they focused on their losses, how many game winners they missed, you know what I'm saying, versus how many game winners they won. Michael Jordan knows exactly how many game winners he's missed. And I'm sure he studied every game to see where he can improve, right? So that's the difference between being good and great. Good is content. You're okay. You're like, well, I can make 6 figures. I'm good. You're a good trader. A great trader is like, 6 figures is just a start. That's cool, but I'm trying to be the best at what I'm doing. And for me, it could be being super consistent in this area or that area, or maybe financially or this and that, right? Like, you have a lot of goals, more than just, yeah, I'm okay with this. You know, I'm content. You know, there's a lot of good traders that are just content, and that's fine. I'm not trying to be a good trader. I'm trying to be a great trader. I gotta get her in the chat. Hey, what's good? What's good? Mrs. Marco's wifey. No cap, yeah. My boy Vino. Also, Marco, I want you to meet my boy too, Alvin. He's the one, you know what I'm saying? He's a beast trader too. Just like, it's funny, just like your partner hit the 70K on that gold trade, and Vino hit 100K, you know what I'm saying? So that'd be cool if we all talked one day in the chat and just chopped it up, because we can learn from, you know, from each other. But yeah, man, took L's, but I know I'm gonna get it back 1,000. Exactly, bro. Exactly. Much more. Let's fucking go, Mike. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Freaking. I read that wrong. I apologize. That's good. Huh? Smash the like button, please. Please smash the like button. Yo, comment now, bro. Gotta chat with him 100%. Yeah. He's in the chat right now, and he knows about you too, Marco. You know, we talk about you, bro. You're like that. So we definitely is he working with. That's the thing. Now, I mean, that's what we're trying to do with, you know, my business. We're trying to turn it into a real life firm, like a hedge fund. So he's actually not doing that, and he's going crazy. This is all live, trading live, doing numbers. Doing numbers. He's like that though. He's like that. So shout out to him. That's him right there saying, let's talk soon, Marco. That's my boy, my business partner. A beast trader. Like, again, that's him. He's a definition of a trader that's on his path to becoming a great trader. He, you know what I'm saying, had a crazy P&L day, and honestly, it was chill. He wasn't too high or too low. That's the definition of a great trader in the working right there. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're up $1 million or down 100,000, it shouldn't change your emotions for too long. You know, for a minute or two, yeah, take it in, and then we get back to work. Damn, bro, got me blushing. Oh, for real, man. Real recognize real. Yeah, let's connect, bro. DM me on Insta. Yes, sir. Yeah, it's Cash Flow Vino. So, but yeah, definitely would. We all got a link, and I'm sure we're all linking Miami next year too. I'm making sure I'm bringing him with me because he got to meet the team, bro. Like he's a dog. One of the guys that I will vouch for through and through. Him and Kyle, of course. I vouch for these guys for sure. I've seen it. So, hey, yeah, for real. But yeah, man. So how you living, Marco? How did it feel to come back? You know what I'm saying? I know the chat missed you, and I just know, bro, you give a lot of gems as well. I feel like if I had to match my personality to a trader out of all the ChartFanatics traders, it'd probably be either Marco or maybe Matt as well. I think Matt's pretty chill as well. One of those two for sure. Yo, I'm back to the cold, man. Oh, for real? Are you in Canada or what? You back in Canada? I can't deal with the cold, man. I'm from Texas. It's cold here 2 months, and we're good. And that 2 months is brutal for us. But I love being home on the grind. Nothing beats being on a routine. I couldn't agree more. And that's how I felt too, man. When I went to China, I loved it. I came back and I was like, it's time to go to work. Yeah, Marco's dope, bro. Been watching your content, man. It has helped a lot. See? And that's what I'm trying to do too, man. That's what, Vino and I, we're gonna start, releasing a lot of content because it's good to give back, honestly. What's the point of making all this money if you don't want to share and give back? That's so crazy to me. I've never been greedy. Like, I'm fine giving back and spreading knowledge. That's why I created my Discord. And that's why it's free. You know what I'm saying? It's cool because you feel good when you see other people making money off, your analysis or learning your strategy and understanding how you look at the markets and having their own aha moment. That's a great feeling. Just doing that, just being impactful to other people's lives, because learning this skill really can change your life. It's changed my life. I'm in a high rise right now on the 39th floor, one below the penthouses, and I moved here when I was 28. A blessing. I told myself in high school I wanted to be in high rise before I was 30, and I was able to hit that goal. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't be able to do that without trading. It's a blessing. So, if I can help give back in any way, I'm down to do that. It's cool. You make some dope ass content. Get on it. I appreciate it, bro. I really do. I'm from Houston, like, hey, H-Town. London is freezing if 3C can't imagine Canada. Yo, nah, for real. I'd be in pain. Fingers numb. I can't do it. For real. But yeah, again, not much going on right now with gold. It's a lot of choppiness. So we'll let big money show their hand. Bitcoin just looks disgusting right now. Seems like we're inverting this weekly fair value gap. It's getting there close. We'll see if we do, break below. We probably go to 75, 76, which is disgusting work, but it probably happens, right? We've got another fair value gap in this area, so we'll see what happens. Just follow DMG Marco. Looking forward to connecting. Yeah. That's awesome. I'm still thinking shorts on gold, but to be honest, exactly. See, Marco, you look at, hey, come on, man. Hey. I'm looking at the same thing. Getting away from more exact same. And I was just preaching that too, right? I don't need to get in early. Let me wait for institutions and banks to show their hand. If they want to grab buy side liquidity or if they want to tap into a fair value gap, whatever they want to do, I'm gonna be patient. And once they show their hand, I'm there, right? I don't need to get into a trade and try to be first and go on X and be like, I was the first person to short here at this price. I don't care about all that. I much rather care about how much money I'm gonna make on that trade, just being patient, right? It's like, cool. I wasn't first, but I made $50,000. I'm okay. I'm fine. Man, I need to be on that level. W, building level, trading level. Just messing. I'm from Orlando, but living in Minnesota too. Oh yeah, I don't know why you did that. I love Orlando. I've been to Disney World at least 8 times, and the turkey legs there are unmatched. I know it's changed over the years, but growing up, I would go to Florida, and I was like, wow, Florida's super cool. Now it's probably crazier now, but I still like Florida though. I'm on hands for gold. Needed to tell us where it wants to go and then exactly, we snipe. For real. Let's do it. Two family mans. My boy Vino is married too with 2 kids and still going crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have motivation. What's your why? Your why is gonna keep you strong during your ups and downs. If you don't have a why, it's gonna be very, very hard during the drawdown periods. So just remember that, when you're struggling with trading, understand what your why is. Why'd you start with this? You know what I'm saying? If it's monetary goals, that's fine too, but you wanna have something else besides that. Of course, at the end of the day, we all wanna make a lot of money, but that can't be the only driver because it's gonna be hard, especially when you're losing money. So keep that in mind as well. Did I miss? No, love the turkey legs. First time here, just sent you a DM on Instagram. For sure. What time is it? Okay, yeah, 5:12, yeah. Let's start with the giveaways. And shout out to my boy Anthony, man, the guy behind the screens. This guy is amazing, laughs at my jokes all the time, and I have some corny ass jokes, and he continues to laugh. So I appreciate you, brother. Like, I am a head ass type of guy, but I just like to enjoy life, and again, I'm just grateful every day to be here. How do we know that the big banks are in, bro? You'll know the big banks are in by the volume and the expansion of the candles, engulfing candles. These are not retail. This is not retail. You know what I'm saying? They're like literally, even with the small candles, right? I won't even say they're retail. It's probably retail mixed with institutions, but for the most part, they're showing their hands. When you're in a discount and you're seeing a big engulfing candle, do you think retail's making that move? Or do you think that's institutions and the banks? Are we selling gold right now? We're not selling gold right now. Let's go. We're not selling gold right now. We're waiting to see what happens. But let me talk to my boy real quick. Yo, let's give the giveaway. Okay, my bad. Let's chat okay. Giveaway time. So I'm gonna need the chat to put !join to join the giveaway, and do it once. If you do it more than once, you will not be able to enter. !join. Let's do it. We got 1 Funded Next and 1 Alpha Capital today. That's great. Come on now. Let's do this. It's raining over here. The weather looks horrible, but it's still a great day because we're all alive. And that helps with trading too. You cannot be pessimistic and think that you're gonna be a great trader. Actually, I lied. There's a couple guys that you would never think they've seen a happy day in their life, and they were still printing. And they were mad because they wanted more money, so I lied. But if you want an easier journey, I advise you to just be grateful for the small things and thankful, right? It does help with your mindset and mentality, and you start to see more blessings coming your way with that mindset. Here we go. Come on now. I appreciate you. !join. Filmed by the snowy Poland. Hey, anywhere cold, I'm good. All right, we'll do it for 1 more minute. Come on now. Who's gonna win today? Who's gonna win? And I appreciate y'all for tuning in and hearing what I had to say. I hope that y'all could take something out of today and apply it to your trading. Come on, my boy Marco said I'm trying to win a bag. I like it. Okay, and the wifey too. Yeah. We're not playing around. I love it. Awesome. Let's go. Watching streams daily with like-minded people feels so good. I like that, for real. It does help a lot, especially with your subconscious. For real. Marco's side hustling. Facts. All right, and I think we're ready. Side hustling is crazy. Like the stream, for real. Like the stream. If you like, the content that we're bringing out day after day, week after week, it'd help us a lot if you like it. It really does. It pays the bills, and we want to be here more and continue to give you gems. And I promise next stream I will have a trade on for you. I know I've been rambling. I will have a trade, or we will review trades. All entries are in. Awesome. Okay. Okay. I'll let my boy handle that. Yeah. Okay, you got it? Cool, cool. I was gonna say that, yeah. What a day, what a day. We're getting everything rolling right now. Just give us a minute. Okay. All right. Appreciate you, brother. Should I do anything else, or I can take the mic? I mean, the mouse. Okay, cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's do this. Are we ready? 3, 2. Hold on, I just saved a lot of money on my car insurance using Geico. I just wanted to let y'all know that. I'm just playing. Let's go, let's go. People were like, come on, bro. You're childish. The winner is Z White W for life. For lifers, gang. Hey, Z White W for L. You know what I'm saying? I think it's an L, right? It's gotta be an L. If you are for lifers. I swear, twin, come on. Hey, if you are here in the chat, please show your hand. Come to the front. Come to the front. Z White W for oh, there we go. Come on, congratulations. You have won a Funded Next account, right? Is it? Yep, Funded Next. Cool. Please follow instructions. All right, cool. Let's remove. Okay, cool. Congrats, bruh, or ma'am, or, Anyways, all right, let's do this. Last one. Are we ready for this? We got an Alpha Capital challenge. All right, 3, 2, 1. I see you everywhere. All right. And Peace to Go Music. That's a live name. Come on now. Peace to Go Music. Congratulations. Please come to the front. Come on down. Don't be shy. That is what I'm talking about. Peace to Go Music. We're all about peace. That's my vibe, right? We don't want problems. We want peace. I know I'm Nigerian, but I don't always want problems. I want peace. Peace to Go Music. Congrats. Yeah, there we go. Congrats. You've won an Alpha Capital Group Challenge. Awesome. Let's go. Congo. Hey, shout out to Congo. Cool. Alrighty, y'all. I want to say I appreciate y'all again for tuning in. Thank you. I appreciate y'all again for tuning in to this live stream. If you enjoyed it, please like, please comment. If you want more content from us, please let us know. If you want us to talk about something, let us know in the chat. We really appreciate the small things, right? If we made an impact in your day-to-day, we'd love to see that. It motivates and inspires us. Again, we all have our own Discords as well. And, I have my own tab on the ChartFanatics, but if you click on my profile, I have my own personal Discord you can join in if you want to see exactly how I trade, my risk management, along with my lead partner, and trader, and also understand how we had a 6-figure day yesterday, you know, as a team and stuff. Join our Discord as well. But I will be back here next week. I will be tuning in to all my boys' streams. Shout out to Marco again for coming in. Shout out to Anthony. It's so crazy. Marco and Anthony are brothers, and these guys work extremely hard and they're consistent, and I love it. Like I love the brotherhood they got going on. They're super cool, chill guys, very nice. You know, it really matches my vibe, and his wifey too. Like you have to have a strong wife or husband in your support system to help you get to the next level. That I'm very big on, right? So, you know, if you're chasing women and men everywhere, it's gonna be hard for you to focus on trading, right? You'd rather just have that one person that you can hold it down, that can hold it down for you through the highs and lows. It really does make a huge difference. And this is coming from someone that's never had a girlfriend, you know? So, and I spend my time just focused. I'm not chasing everybody. I don't need to. I know that the right one will come. And when she does come, I'm gonna make sure that money's no issue, right? So, yeah, that's the goal. But anyways, I'll see y'all again. And I hope everyone has a great weekend, and let's finish the year strong. All right, I'll see y'all. Peace.